And I had a lot of fears going into Pluribus. My biggest fear was, should I be trying something new versus doing another Breaking Bad story? Because I know those work. I don't know that this will work.
Yes, so hi, I'm Jonathan Bloomberg, writing for Movies in Sweden.
Nice to meet you, Jonathan. I love your office there. That's cool.
Yeah, well, the pleasure is all mine. I'm a huge fan. I've obviously watched Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and going back to the X-Files when I was a kid, that hearing that title sequence song is still something that just brings me like back to those days when my father allowed me to stay up and watch an episode before going to bed, and I have that really fond in my heart still.
Nice.
So you played a huge part in my life.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's an honor now to getting to speak with you, but also having watched the first six episodes of this season, that I feel like you want to be quite secretive about. So I wanted to start out there. What is your feeling about trying to sell this show without telling people too much about it, and what's your train of thought there?
It may be a dumb idea on my part, but I think back on all the shows and movies I've seen. Most of the time, you go into a show or a movie, you know what to expect. You've been told what to expect. And I think about my favorite experiences in my own life, and one of them was the X-Files. 32 years ago, I was living in a little town in Virginia, my home state, on the East Coast of the United States, and I was flipping through the four channels of TV I had at the time. I was too cheap to have cable, and this new show came on a Friday night, and it was called The X-Files, and I didn't know anything about it. And I thought, what the heck is this? And within the first 5 minutes, I was hooked, and I loved it. And I loved it so much that I told my agent. I was a movie writer at the time, or was trying to be, and I told my agent, "You got to watch this new show." And one thing led to another, and I wound up like I won the lottery. I wound up getting to be a writer for 7 years on the X Files, and that is a very fond memory for me, and that was a great experience. And I think about other movies I saw when I knew nothing about them. And I want that experience for the people who watch Pluribus. I want them to go in knowing as little as possible. And some people like that, other people not so much. But I want it. We live in a day and age where I feel like we all have too much information, and which is a funny irony because the folks who live in the world of Pluribus all know everything about each other, and
Yeah.
generally makes them very happy. But I think that's a funny irony. But I kind of like the opposite. I came to realize a few years ago that there are far more facts in this universe that I don't want to know than that I do want to know. There's so many questions that if you said, would you like to know what this person, what the worst thing they ever said about you was? Like, nope, don't want to know that. There's so many things
Yeah.
I don't want to know that I'm kind of approaching it that way.
So something that we all know, though, especially if we did watch Better Call Saul, is how great Ray is, especially working with you. And I guess it was an easy choice putting her in the lead here. Could you talk a bit about working with her first on Better Call Saul and jumping into this now?
Yes, I created this role for RHEA SEEHORN. I was thinking of it at about the time I started to get to know her. This is about 10 years ago. I started thinking about this idea, almost 10. And I started working with her at about the same time. And the original idea for this show, it was going to be a male protagonist. And then I got to know Ray, and I thought, I should write a show for a woman. And what better woman than RHEA SEEHORN? She's so good. She's so funny, but she can be as dramatic as any actor I've ever seen anywhere. She can do it all. And I had a lot of fears going into Pluribus. My biggest fear was, should I be trying something new versus doing another Breaking Bad story? Because I know those work. I don't know that this will work. So I had a lot of fears and concerns, as I always do, because I'm an anxious person. But I had no doubt in my mind that RHEA SEEHORN could carry a show, that she could be a star. I think it's been way too long that the world has. I think it's far past the time that the world sees her as a star. I think it's time for that to happen. And when we hired her for this, I thought I had very. I'm not a very confident person, but I had every confidence she would do well. And then she surprised me even more as the episodes of Pluribus progressed, and I saw more and more what she was capable of. I just thought this is like it's like watching a racehorse or something. I don't know what the analogy is, but she surprises me. All of us, not just me, everyone who makes the show is constantly surprised scene after scene where she takes things even further than we thought they could go dramatically. Or in terms of humor, they could be funnier than we thought they could be. She's wonderful, and I can't wait for the world to see her.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, and I think she's way due for that Emmys as well. So thanks a lot for taking your time to speak with me today, and best of luck with the premiere now. I'm sure it will go great.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you very much, and great to talk to you.
You don't have to say
Okay,
more.
that's the scene. That's the audition. That's the audition scene.
Well, that's great then. So, hi, I'm Jonathan Bloomberg, writing for Movie Scene in Sweden.
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi. It's truly an honor to get to speak with the both of you. I've been waiting for this show for so long, and I've seen 6 episodes, and I still don't know where this will go. Uh,
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I love it. I just told Vince that too, that I love his way of selling this by not telling us anything, just reeling us all in. And on that note, I know, Ray, that he wrote the part specifically for you, so that must be like an honor having someone like Vince wanting to do that. So first,
that's the understatement of the year, but yes.
yeah. So if you could talk a bit about that, and then Karolina, if you could talk about how you kind of ended up in the show as well.
I'm sure you gleaned not only from watching his other shows and watching this one, but from talking to him as well. He's just really kind of an incredible, unique person. He's such a masterful storyteller. I was a fan of his work before I got to be in the work. And each time that I'm in anything that he's doing, I'm always like, my partner was just asking me the other day, he said, because I've seen all of them now, and he said, if you weren't in it, would it be your kind of show? I was like, definitely. Yeah. I would love the show. And I just love the way he writes. I love the way he assumes the intelligence of his audience. And I would say on set, he assumes the intelligence and the value and contribution of the actors as well, and everybody that's in his department. So I cried when he said he wrote something for me. I don't quite know how to take that in other than to work as hard as I possibly can to interpret the great stories that he's writing, and try to give myself the room to experiment, because showing up just terrified isn't helping anybody. Like I gotta bring it, right? Or try.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting what you just said about Vince. Just to add to that, he like anybody, he will listen to anybody's ideas, and he'll never make anybody feel like, oh, that's a bad idea or that's silly. He truly, genuinely listens to everyone, and it's such a beautiful quality that he has, and he really invites people to share with him if there's something that he's missing. And I remember it was always my dream to work with Vince, and I was always hoping that one day I get a chance to audition for Vince Gilligan, and there was never a part that I ever auditioned for him. And so and I've always wanted to. And so when this came around, I remember I auditioned. I just couldn't believe it.
Had you been in for Bialy Thomas casting?
Oh yeah, I've been for them a bunch of I've been for them for a bunch of times. But it was interesting because I didn't know anything about the project when I auditioned for it, because I just
you still don't.
Besides, it was a different name of the character, a different name for. I mean, it wasn't Pluribus. But anyway, so when there's a whole process you have to go through, and
you can tell them which scene it was.
It was this. No, I don't know if I can.
Can't? Oh, never mind.
I don't know if I can. but you know, there's a whole process that you have to go through before you get to get the part. And there's a thing called a test where you have to do an audition, and then they show it to the studio and the network, and I got to meet you, and we got to do that scene together. And
Right, we did a chemistry test, and you know, it was I got to meet Vince, and I was just like pinching myself. I'm like, I can't believe I'm in the room with Vince and then Ray. It's like, what's happening? This is just like mind blowing. And
it was, and you were just so amazing. And so you're working on this and like getting an opportunity. When I got the call that I got the part, I literally cried and screamed, and it was like I still get emotional. And then being on set and how welcoming everyone was, and how I still pinch myself to be like, is this real? Is this really happening? And you know, and I get to work with her and get to like, it's just like this magnificent human being.
Yeah,
Learn from her and Vince. Yeah, so.
Yeah,
It's
I
been
really
such a blessing.
Yeah, I really love the show, and one of my favorite scenes was that scene with the grenade. We don't have to say more.
That's the scene.
That's the audition.
That's the audition scene.
Well, that's great then. So
yeah.
So I picked it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that
great scene.
And so thanks a lot for taking the time to speak with me today, and best of luck with the premiere now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.